Hey everybody, it's Mark Arnstein, Remax Hallmark and livingnorthtoronto.com. This is vlog number 79, and the question is the market going to crash? I gotta apologize for the title of the vlog. You guys have all heard the term bait and switch, and I gave you a little bit of a bait and switch there because problem is, in our world today, negativity sells. I don't think this is true. And there's been so much media hype about this and talking about how it's a bubble, the market's crashing, there's a bubble, it's not true, right? Because the problem is negativity sells. So I want to go over some numbers really quickly here, kind of give you an idea of what's been happening in the market over the last 2 months, comparing April to the month of May. Here's what happened in C4. In the month of April, there were 53 homes that sold with a median. Now, this is not the average, this is just the median price, was a $2,725,000 with 3 days on the market. And the lowest sale price was $1.3 million with an average of 23 days on the market. Now, that was on Lawrence Avenue, so it was on a main street. And then the highest sale price in C4 for the month of April was $9.9 million, a house on Lytton. Now, it sold in 6 days, but to get it into context, that house actually had been listed on and off the market for over 2 years before it actually ended up selling. But the next closest highest sale price was just over $6.3 million over in Lawrence Park South. So now compare that to all of Toronto for the month of April. We had 883 homes that sold with a median selling price of $1,780,000, which is still really a big number. Now, if we look at semis for the month of April, there were only 6 semis that sold the entire month of April in C4 with an average of 6 days on the market and for $2,030,000. The lowest was $1,650,000, also 5 days on the market, and the highest was $2,050,000 with 6 days on market. Now compare that to all of Toronto. There were 69 semis that sold in the entire city with an average sale price of $2,207,000 and 1 day on the market. Now, if we look at the month of May, compare the two together, in C4, we had 57 homes that sold, so we had 3 more than the month previous, with a median price of $2,390,000 with average of 8 days on market, or median days on market, sorry. The lowest was $1,450,000 with a median of 6 days on market, and the highest was $5.2 million with 5 days median on market. Now compare that to Toronto. We had, the number dropped quite dramatically. We had only 352 sales, but the price was still relatively high at $2,199,000. Now again, 11 days of on market with the median average. You gotta take, again, the ratios and put them all together and kind of look at it as a big overall picture, right? And for semis in C4, we had, again, only 6 that sold in the month of May, with the median price being $1,702,000. The lowest was $1,458,790 with 7 days on the market, and the highest was $3,955,000, 6 days on the market. Now, that's a big number as well. Again, this property had been listed on and off the market since March, so it was a brand new semi, big on Weybourne, just off south of Lawrence, and it was a very special piece of property. So just kind of give you an idea. Now, for the month of May in semis in all of Toronto, we had 67 units that sold with a median price of $1,750,000 with 1 day on the market. Okay, so for a bubble to happen is you have to see 2 things occurring in the marketplace. One is where people are buying a house and literally selling the paper, the agreement purchase and sale to somebody else before the transaction even closes, and then that person sells it to another person, and that person sells it to another person, and that, in a sense, what creates a bubble, right? And that's what's called speculation. And there is lots of speculation that goes on in the marketplace, and there is speculation with cryptocurrency, there is speculation with Bitcoin, there is speculation on all of a sudden artwork or something that becomes, really super cool and trendy, but there's not a lot of history or data to go off of, so it becomes a speculative price because you don't know necessarily where it's gonna go down the road into the future. So if we look at the market right now as a whole, what we're still seeing is still a relatively low levels of inventory. There's not a dramatic increase in homes coming onto the market, and the demand is still there. It's maybe taking a smidgen longer to sell than what was happening from before, but now what's happened is we got probably more what we say quality buyers as opposed to quantity buyers, where there's buyers that are really dedicated on wanting to buy a house, and those are the ones that are seriously going out right now and looking to buy a home and making it happen for themselves. And I think it's important to also know and understand is that the rates where we're at right now are really where we're getting back to pre-COVID. And before COVID actually happened, 2018, 2019, the market was still relatively very healthy and moving along, and homes were still selling quickly, and we're going over asking, and the market was quite active. So I don't think things are changing anytime soon. I don't think the market's gonna come tumbling down. I don't think the bubble is gonna burst and all of a sudden prices are gonna fall like a ton of bricks. I just can't see it happening. And one of the greatest things about living in Canada compared to some of the other countries that are out there is we do have some of the best lending practices in the entire world. It was actually ranked the best place to lend money from worldwide when we went into the financial crisis for the United States back in 2008, 2009. For those who have watched our vlogs from before, you know we've had Peter Puzo on from Dominion Lending Top Producers, who is always an incredible wealth of information when it comes to mortgage lending and mortgage practices. So if you want more information on that subject, please definitely reach out to him. He's a great source of information. Now, the other thing I want to mention also is that immigration is coming in at an all-time high into Canada, and they're coming into mainly two cities, either Toronto or Vancouver. So that's, again, going to create more pressure on the housing market. The other thing that's going to create more pressure on the housing market is the fact that there's been so many restrictions put into play for the builders and developers, especially for the small independent guy who's trying to do the one-off house. It's made it very difficult for them to afford to do that. And a lot of people want the finished product as opposed to having to go and do it themselves because of the time constraints that go along with it. Because if you're gonna buy a lot today, for example, and you're gonna want to build a brand new home on it, you're looking at about a 2-year process before you go from start to finish, which, let's face it, who wants to wait 2 years to have a house ready for them? Not to mention, from the builder standpoint, they're basically about 20% in the hole before they even put a shovel in the ground. So because of the restrictions on the government with HST. So all that's gonna do is create more demand for the finished product, which is gonna have less amount of homes to go around for people who want it, which is gonna then put the prices up even that much more. The other thing to keep in mind too is that right now the job market is doing extremely well and people are getting employed left, right, and center, and demand for employment is extremely high and there's just not enough people to go around. So again, that's gonna add more fuel to the fire. Bottom line is this, if you're looking to buy or you're looking to sell, it's still a fantastic time to get involved into the marketplace because things are not slowing down. They've adjusted a bit, but they're not slowing down. Instead of, if you're buying, for instance, instead of being like 60, 70, 80 offers on a property, there might only be maybe 2, 3, 4, or it might just be in a straightforward transaction and one-on-one negotiations with you and the seller. If you're selling, yes, I know we were getting like all these crazy prices and we were getting, catastrophic prices that were just unheard of before. And you're still gonna get an amazing price for your home. But remember, one thing is that you're gonna get this amazing price for your home, which is great, but you're also gonna get a really good price on what you buy as well. Because remember, real estate only tends to work, you buy and sell in more or less the same market. It's very impossible to buy low and sell high. It doesn't happen, right? So as long as you're doing what the transactions that you're gonna be doing, both buying and selling in the same market, it all balances out in the end. And the other thing to remember this, yes, your home is an investment, but it's also where you live. It's where you raise your family. It's where you have gatherings. It's where you have memories. It is a special place. So keep that all in mind when you're looking to buy and sell your next piece of property because it is more than just a straightforward investment. Anyways, that's all I got for today. If you want any more information, feel free to reach out, email, text, DM, whichever works best for you. Remember to follow us along on social, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, take care, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.